You were mentioning camping. That was one thing we did too.
We didn't do
Having
that.
no money.
Yeah.
We would, and we decided if we waited till we could travel, we would either be too old or if the time would pass. And in the days when my children were young, the teachers were much more flexible, and we would take a month out of the school year, and they would allow that, and we would travel all over Canada, the West, camping, you know, putting up the tent and living outdoors. But all the wonderful stories, you know, that we recount now about who got sick on which trip and all of that kind of stuff comes from those days. I'm glad they're over, frankly. I mean, it was rugged, but it was something we felt like we had to do, and I don't regret any of it.
As a family, yeah.
As a family, yes.
In our case, you know, when I worked, I did some traveling, but my wife and I, for 20 years, were never alone. And I remember my boss said, look, you do a lot of traveling, why don't you take your wife? So it took 20 years before my wife and I were alone for the first time. So how about you? Were you ever alone?
Well, yes, we were. We had a wonderful mother-in-law who understood that. And she would come periodically and send Damien and myself away for 2 weeks or so, and we would, you know, either go to Nova Scotia or other places. So we were very fortunate that way.
We would go on family retreats. You know, we could squeeze out maybe Saturday and part of a day Sunday. For many years, we enjoyed Loyola.
Did you have any sad moments that you might want to, any one particular taxing moment that you might have experienced in your married life, where you might have had some sorrow or sickness, accidents?
Yes.
We had a couple like that, and
I'm not sure.
not that I want to talk about anything sad, but I mean, did you have any problems that were outstanding?
I really don't recall any.
So any concerns?
Most definitely several concerns. I would say that particularly when your children begin driving, particularly if they're boys, I think you have very many concerns. And I was always concerned about the children coming home, you know, on time. And this was very interesting. I do recall one incident when usually they would turn out the lights on the table, the last one in, and one weekend I was waiting for my one son to come home, and the light didn't go off, and I was getting worried, and the car wasn't in the driveway, but it had to be early in the morning, so I sat out waiting for him to come home, getting madder and madder. Then I looked in his bed, and he was in his bed. What happened, the car had a flat tire, and a friend took him home, and he forgot to turn the light out and was home at 11 o'clock. So I learned my lesson was look in the bed before you get too upset.
Well, we've only a few moments left. Do you have any closing thoughts or comments you'd like to make?
Well, I would like to mention that God and prayer, the rosary in particular, have been the core of our family. And I think that's the success of our children.
Mary?
I go back to that great satisfaction of seeing your children as adults and who they marry and the grandbabies coming. Great satisfaction.
That is a great satisfaction. That's a very great satisfaction. And one of the things that makes me very happy is the fact that the two oldest children who were married, the oldest boy, but we had 2 children. He's making such a fine father, and I know that his sister will be a very good mother. Those are great things. And I think another thing is the fact that in our age, I think this is one of the few generations when children are looked upon as a burden. But I really do think that they are a blessing.
This has been a very interesting conversation. I hope that we've inspired you. And finally, don't forget to include God in your family planning. Thank you.